Hey everyone, welcome to day 4 of the all-wheel drive swap on a 2G. So today is going to be a bit of a shorter day, but I'm just going to go ahead and take off the drive shaft mounts off of the donor shell. So it's just a bunch of spot welds to cut, but it's a little later in the day and pretty chilly out here today, so I'm not going to work too late. Just want to get these off, and then we are pretty much officially done with this shell. And from here on out, it will be starting to put parts on my brother's car and making progress towards making his car all-wheel drive. So bear with me for a second and we'll start drilling. Now if you're going to tackle this job, the easiest way to get these mounts off is with an actual spot weld cutter. So it's a simple little device. It's kind of like a miniature hole saw, except you've got a really small cutter with a guide pin. This pin doesn't do any actual drilling, but it guides. You drill a pilot hole with a nice sharp drill, and then you stick the pin in the hole, and this will cut out the spot weld rather quickly. These things work really nice. You can do it with a small drill bit and then use a larger drill bit, but in my past experience it's just a pain in the ass. This thing works really good. And of course, you know, a drill. Corded, cordless, doesn't matter. And yeah, that's about it. It's really worth, I think that was like 15 bucks or something like that. It's really worth the money. They have different sizes too, and this one is it is reversible, so if you do happen to mangle up one side, I've cut a bunch of spot welds with this and it's still on the original side, but you can reverse it if need be and buy replacement cutters for it. Alright, let's go. Alright, so down here into the car, first thing we're going to need some light to see everything we're working on here. You can see how much more rust there is. Mind me. So this is mount number 1 that we need, and of course first thing we need to do is unbolt this heat shield, and then I may actually just bend it back here because otherwise I'm gonna have to go way up front and dick around with that, and I really don't care. So we've got a couple spot welds here. You can kind of feel a little indent where they are. It might even help to take like a wire wheel and clean the crap off, and then you'll be able to see the spot welds better. There's one there, a couple along there. This board's kind of close, but I think I'll be alright. So I'm gonna first get this bolt out and go from there. It's a 10. Yep, just a rusty 10. That's one. Get to the bolts, maybe. It would be nice to save this. Well, that one snapped off. That's not a big surprise. It's about 50-50 odds on this car. Some do, some don't. Yeah, that one's out. One more up here, and as you can see right here, this is the other mount, which is partially behind the heat shield. And there's number 3. So we can save the heat shield. Of course, we'll have to deal with these broken bolts now, but so you've got a few spot welds around here. I think there's maybe one there. One there, maybe. I know there's a bunch around here. I'm always bumping the camera, so I gotta check to make sure it's still looking where I want to be. Yeah, you can kind of feel a little indent where the spot welds are. Try to start your hole right in the center of that. And luckily for us, Mitsu kind of makes these cars out of paper, so it's really not that hard. You can feel another one right there. And that's not what I wanted to do. But luckily it's through. Thankfully, Harbor Freight drills are cheap, so you don't feel bad when they snap off. Alright, just for shits and giggles, we'll get out the spot weld cutter. I usually put this down to a little lower speed. Give it a little wobble. That should be about it. It doesn't take much to get through the spot weld. You just got to get through that first layer. That one is through, so that one is completely cut. It's been a while since I've done this. There's number 2. So just got to keep going, continue on like that. There. It'll help if I clean off some of this crap. Somebody sprayed like an undercoating on the car before. Flaking off everywhere. While I was out getting another drill bit, I grabbed the wire wheel to try and clean off some of this undercoating crap to make the spot welds easier to see. That'll be much better. This is the one. This one there. Just go gentle when you go through, because that's what happened last time, is the drill bit started to bind a little bit, and of course it just snapped off. Sure there's one there. And one here. I believe there's one right there. Some are hard to see, but in general they're not hard to feel. That should be all the ones on this side. Out of battery. Never fails. Good thing I came prepared. But I will go stick this one on the charger. Alright. Fresh battery. Almost there. You can kind of feel when the inner part starts to spin, and you know you're through. That one's all the way through. There we go. I guess there isn't one in the corner here because I just saw the whole thing move. Yeah, basically now this whole side is free, and what we'll basically end up doing is placing this on the front wheel drive car, and more or less we'll clean a spot and fill these spots back in with weld. It's right there. There. This one may get a little bit difficult. I should have put this beam back just a little bit further. I know there's two right there. Pretty sure there's one on the side there, if I remember correctly. Oh, wait. I think there's one there. It's going to be a really awkward angle to try to get at, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, it's going to chew up my chuck, but I think that's the last one. Sorry if I'm missing a lot of the shot. It's not easy to do. of metal stuck in the cutter. That's what it is. Alright, I'm back. I had a little piece of one of the cutouts in the middle of the spot weld cutter, so it wasn't allowing me to cut anymore. That feels better. Through. Oh, kind of. Something told me there was one on this side here. I can't quite remember. That one's through. This one here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one. There we go. That's it. So other than a little bit of a hassle getting around this board, that really wasn't that bad. So now we can clean this up and get it prepared to tack to the new shell. It's one. Now we'll tackle the front one. Same thing, and actually easier to access, but I think there's a few more spot welds on that one. Alright, I'll get to that. I gotta reposition myself and we'll get to that one. I might come from the other side. Looks like I may have a little more access that way. Alright, so I am on the other side, coming in from the front of the car now. And we'll get this front mount off. So this has spot welds, a couple there, maybe a couple there, and a couple around there. So same process. Clean it up a little bit to make it easier to see the spot welds. There, one there. One there. Looks like they almost missed with that one. All right, cleaned up and can see most of the spots. If you start drilling and you miss one, when you try to pull it off, you'll know where it is. And we're down our second battery. It's never easy. Get some chooch. Ellen. Give her a second. Should be good. I think that's it for the spot welds. We'll start with the cutter. think I bent my pin. We seem to be getting a lot of wobble. Anyway, the show must go on. I missed one. This damn seam sealer crap on here makes it hard to see. There's a spot weld right there. Hopefully that's the last one. I'm guessing there's probably still one on the other side too, even though I can't see it. There. I thought there was more than one on each side in the bottom, but hey, it's been how many years since I've done this? 9 years? I have a hard time remembering what I ate for breakfast this morning. That should get. That's it. They are off. That's both mounts off. So that's all we need. Okay, so we are officially done with the parts car, or the donor car, whichever you want to call it. Everything that we need for the all-wheel drive swap is off. And so we've got the rear bracket for the drive shaft and the middle one and the exhaust heat shield. I can't remember if I used the one off of the donor car in my car or the front wheel drive one. I can't remember. I can't remember if they're the same or not. But anyways, if we need it, it's off. Alright, so officially done with the white car behind me. And so I want to thank everybody for sticking it out this far. We're almost, well, we're about halfway there. So from now on we'll be starting to work on my brother's car, which thankfully is rust free. I'm done with rust. This car has been a bit of a challenge. It was worse, a lot worse than the donor car that I started with for my all-wheel drive swap. But we'll get there regardless. A little bit of rust ain't gonna stop me. So from now on out, we'll be starting the reverse of this process of putting everything back on a front-wheel drive car, and well on our way to making his car all-wheel drive. So stay tuned. Episode number 4 or 5. I don't even remember where I'm at now. Anyways, it's getting dark and I'm cold, so I'm going in. Catch you next time. Tell everyone to hit like and subscribe. Hey? You can't you can't not like a video with a dog going for a belly rub. You like that, don't you? You're laying right in the mud. Doesn't matter. See? You have to like this video now. Best emotional support ever. Right? You ready to go in? Why are you drooling? You're ridiculous.